Hi Peel Drone, quick video today, props. I just got these DYS props the other day. I thought I'd just give them a quick review. Along with me I do have the HQ ones in green here. We're just gonna go over them. So first, design. I would say they are pretty much identical. If you look at it here, hub size pretty much same height. So for design and that is just pretty much identical, I would say. Second would be hub size. The DYS comes for 5mm shaft, motor shafts, direct fit, no need for any spacers or adapters or whatever. With the HQ, you're gonna have to go with the 5mm adapter and just plug it in there. One thing, I've been always using these the HQ ones because they're pretty good props for thrust compared to the two blades. I love those. They sound pretty good. They give a lot of thrust while not really putting, extreme strain on the motor. But that brings us to the third point, which is the price. And before we go to that, as you compare here, you can see the HQ had always this issue with the hub size being too tight for motor shafts. It does require, like, this is a newly installed spacer here, or adapter, and it seems to be, yeah, finally. And then even if you let it go, if it goes the last couple of millimeters, is just a pain to go in. And all of us had this thing who ran those props. Once you break those, because they're not really crash proof, so you would end up at any crash with 3 broken blades and just shards of very, very, I would say, rough edges that definitely gonna cut you. I mean, I've been cut so many times with these. On the other hand, the DYS ones, they're just direct fit. You could feel just a very tiny resistance, which is gonna kill any play, so you know that you're dead center on that one. So that's one thing I like about them. They're gonna come off easier. Again, the third point that I mentioned is the price point. These are kind of expensive. You're looking at 350 US for a pair. So a full set is going to set you back for 7 US dollars, which is close to 10 Canadian dollars plus tax or minus tax, depending where you get them. For half price, it looked like a very sweet deal for me. Which bring us to the rest of the specs. Again, the weight on this on the scale did 3 gram versus 4 grams for the HQ. Again, my scale doesn't do like 1/10 of a gram, but again, this registered 3 versus 4. Thrust. I did test those on thrust stand on a 4S setup. I did get around 930 grams from the HQ to 940. I got like 10 grams extra, which again, I'm not gonna say that's definitely the fact. I'm gonna have to run more tests just to get a better average, but again, it gives you an idea about what's going on. Amp usage, they both drew 25 amps on full throttle. So that's for the thrust. Last thing, the strength of those, or how they're gonna behave in a crash. We all, again, as I said, know that these are pretty, I would say, I don't want to say fragile, but they snap. I mean, there is not a lot of play, which you do get a little bit more flex with with the DYS versus the HQ. Again, HQ in most of the crashes, they just snap. Like, I mean, that's what you get. Again, depending where it breaks, but usually it breaks at the junction with the hub here. That's where it breaks mostly. That's just the angle that you're gonna get with it. I don't know, like 45 or even less. With the DYS, you do get a little bit more. It's a little bit more forgiving, so you can actually bend it. I'm not saying it's definitely stronger or whatever, but I mean, you can see. I mean, are you gonna fly with this? Question is, well, I mean, if you're just like a joyride or you're just flying for freestyling or for fun, it's not a big deal. I mean, with a crash, if it bends a little bit, I mean, eventually you're gonna have to balance your props every once in a while after a crash. One more thing that I forgot to mention is the balance. They pretty much both come pretty balanced out of the package. There's not much really bad balance on any of the leaves. It's something that you always could just, you know, bolt it on and fly. You don't really need to fiddle with balancing, at least for the first couple of flights until you hit it or crash it or whatever. That's pretty much it. Again, that's, I guess, all what's left with this. Stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.